Hello and welcome to News 24. I'm here with editor Adriaan Basson to unpack the latest developments in the Bosasa story. Adriaan, this morning we woke up and learned that two local banks have informed Bosasa that they are going to close their bank accounts, which have forced the company into voluntary liquidation. Catch us up, please. How did we get here and how did this happen so soon?
Yeah, it happened very fast, Alet. I think, if you can't bank, you can't pay salaries, you can't pay expenses, you can't receive money. So it's impossible to trade as a business when you don't have bank accounts. Look, I'm a bit skeptical or a bit critical of the banks. I think, for over a decade, it's been in the public domain, all these allegations of corruption against Bosasa. We've obviously seen that explode recently when Angela Agrizzi went to the State Capture Commission before Judge Zondo and spilled the beans on years and years of systemic corruption and state capture. And that's what obviously motivated the banks to say, no more, we're no longer doing business with you, which meant Bosasa couldn't continue doing business. And they've now gone into what they call voluntary liquidation, which means a liquidator will be appointed to wind up the companies and try and dispose of the assets.
So what does this mean for Bosasa in terms of their employees, their ongoing contracts and tenders with government departments? What does that mean for the company?
Look, in a way, it's the end. In a way, this is the end of Bosasa. This is the end of the Gavin Watson era of Bosasa. This company that got all these tenders through corruption and irregularities in the government. A lot will still be written and said about what they managed to do over the years. Like I said, the assets they have, like for example the Lindela repatriation camp, the kitchens at the prisons, that will still have to be run. Someone needs to cook for the prisoners at those prisons where they've got the tenders. So the government, National Treasury, with those government departments and the liquidator will have to go sit and come to an agreement, some sort of agreement on how they take this forward. Bosasa says that this may mean the layoff of 4,500 staff members, employees, and that at least 25,000 families will be affected by this move.
We also know that there's ongoing criminal investigations. What are the implications for that?
So this doesn't mean by any stretch of the imagination that Bosasa is off the hook. We've seen 4 or 5 Bosasa former and current directors being charged recently in the Pretoria Criminal Court, Commercial Crimes Court, for corruption with specifically the correctional services tenders. But being liquidated doesn't take away your liability from being charged criminally. The NPA, the Hawks are still investigating a number of other charges against senior Bosasa employees. And I think one can expect in future, if what Agrizzi testified can be proven in a court of law, that there may well be other arrests. If anybody thought by liquidating they were off the hook criminally, they made a big mistake.
That's all from us. Visit News 24 to stay updated with this developing story.